Hi everyone and welcome to Todd's Tech Tips. Today I'm going to be taking a look at how to install Ubuntu on Windows with a USB key and Linux Live USB creator. You'll be able to dual boot, you'll be able to run this just live from the USB itself. The only two things you need is an internet connection, a BitTorrent client, or just the internet, and a USB with about 4 gigs or more storage. You can run it on a disk, but I recommend just making a USB because it's a lot easier and you can reformat the USB and use it for something again later. So we're going to go to two websites. We're going to go to ubuntu.com and we're going to go to Linux Live USB Creator. The Linux Live USB Creator is what you use to convert the ISO to a bootable image for Windows. So firstly we're going to go ahead and download and install that. So just click download and then click download Li. Next, after you install it, it'll look like this, and it basically guides you through what you need to do. So first we need to insert the USB stick, and then we can click and select it. I'm using a 16 gig USB stick, just a SanDisk one. And then we can say choose a source. We can choose an ISO image, which is what I recommend, just so you can make sure you're getting the right version, because there are two versions of Ubuntu, 32-bit and 64-bit. For most computers I recommend just using the 32-bit, but if you want to install Ubuntu, you want to make sure you get a 64-bit if your computer has over 4 gigs of RAM. You can get the source from a CD or download. You can download all different kinds of versions of Linux. Jolly is another interesting one that I've tried out and that works well. And so say if we went to click Ubuntu, we can download it manually, or we can download it automatically and it goes and finds the mirror for us. That's the simplest way, but I prefer to find Ubuntu myself. And then we can go to Ubuntu, click on desktop, and then get Ubuntu now. For the latest release, the latest one is 13.04, and here is where you choose your flavor, 32-bit or 64. The way you can determine that is if you go to Start, right-click Computer, click Properties, and if your system has over 4 gigs of RAM down here, mine's got 16, that's a way you can tell if your system is 64-bit, or if just your Windows system type is 64-bit, get the 64-bit version. If not, just go with 32-bit. The only difference is it allows you to use more RAM, so we'll click Ubuntu 13.04. This is using not the BitTorrent version, but the BitTorrent version is faster. To do the BitTorrent version, we'll go back, and other ways to get Ubuntu. We can take a full look at the full list, and we can grab the BitTorrent versions from here, both 64-bit and 32-bit versions. You can download the older versions of Ubuntu as well, of Ubuntu. Next, after that's downloaded, I'll stop my seeding of it. We'll go back to the Li and we'll click on ISO image because we have an ISO image of Ubuntu. I'll navigate to that. Find it under my OS, Linux, Ubuntu. Right there. Now it'll check the file to make sure it's all correct. And yep, all good. And here we can use more storage, so if you wanted to make changes. If not, it's just live mode only. Leave it at that, and you can click format the key just so you make sure nothing is on the key. Then just click start.
We lost you halfway through the movie, bro.
Whoops, lost it here for a second. After it goes through that, it extracts the ISO image to the USB, and it'll just finish up, and then it'll say once it's finished. Mine looks like it's frozen a bit there. I had to minimize it for a second, but I'll come back to you when it comes back. Okay, so it's now finished. It came up saying your Linux Live key is now up and ready. And then it goes to its own little website and says thanks for using it. and you make sure you like it on Facebook and tweet it and things like that. I'll tweet it for you guys. Tweet. Come on. Anyway, that's all you need to do. And then once you turn off your computer, press F12 or delete or F2 and make sure you select your boot sequence for the USB stick, and then it'll boot up and say if you want to try it or if you want to install Linux. What you can do though is you can go to Linux Live Key here and click on Setup here, and you can install it that way. See here, demo and full installation. Just click that and run through it. You can partition a disk through there or install it on another disk. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to Todd's Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. Thanks again for watching and have a nice day.